Hi, I'm Charlie. I'm the managing partner here at Mobile Media. We're really excited to showcase our latest piece of work, which we've been working on as a business for about 4 or 5 years now, which is going to really put us ahead of the competition and ahead of the curve. Innovation is really important to us because we've got such a flexible format. So we're building our formats purely for the purposes of advertising and almost to what the clients are asking us to deliver. When you look at where we've come from and where the industry is, everything is nearly all digital. Digital was our natural step for us because it gives us more flexibility. So moving from the 48 sheet, the backlight 48 sheet, and then into the digital space has basically unlocked creative potential for clients. Believe it or not, this was DigEVan 1.0. We're going to get 4 or 5 of these up and running. So that trailer that we've just seen over there was part of this infrastructure, and that gives us a towable solution for events. Get the screen up, get it rotated, and then you're basically doing the same job as a D48. They just work so well. In city centres, it's all about having 3 sides of exposure because you've got pedestrians, audience all around you, whereas in the rural locations, it could be it's just a single lane of traffic. It could be getting in and out of a festival. Some clients only like to use single-siders. Other clients like to use all 3, but everyone's using us for a completely different reason when we look at the curve, but in an outdoor space, and obviously unlocking all the creative potential that you have of just having 1 screen as opposed to 3 individual screens. So creative agencies, clients and pixel designers end up doing in that space is obviously going to be really exciting, and we sort of can't wait to see how they're going to use the format that we've built. The evolution from the Edge, and I don't want to take away from it because it is a fantastic product, will be to curve off these to give us a sort of 1 screen feel. We've literally purposely designed both aesthetically on the body, but the actual screen itself will have this curved feature on the side. The most important bit really is it's going to be fully electric on the drivetrain, this little puppy here, and then it'll be fully electric inside, powering the screen with solar panels on the top. From any one of our depots in the UK, we'll be able to deploy these new curved vehicles up the country and into wherever they're needed. 3.9 pixel pitch technology with the curved surrounds on a fully electric chassis with a fully electric regenerative power bank powering the screen is going to be really exciting for the clients to use and deliver campaigns all around the country. Every vehicle that we want to put on the road between now and 2030 and beyond will be electric, which is going to be much better for the industry, but also much better for us as a business as well. We constantly innovate because we've got the ability to do so. So if you think about our product, we get to pick what it looks like, what drivetrain it goes onto, what screen we're using, every possible part of the build process, but the design process we own. So we're always working outside the framework of either a large format site or a D48. We get to control what these things look like, how they are operated, but then more importantly, what creative technologies we can then add into that fleet. The curve represents a step change in what Mobile Media is offering, but also having joined the family business 8 years ago and stepping into a more senior role within that company, it's pretty clear that we can champion things like sustainability, but also innovation. And I think that's testament to the number of clients and depth of clients that we've been carrying. We're an independent media owner, we're a family media owner, so we're using our own funds, and that is really important point to get across here because we're putting our money where our mouths are with this one, and I think that's quite important and quite unique to Mobile Media.
In terms of finding sort of partners to do this, even going from the make of the vans themselves, the partners installing the screens, the screen providers. How are these sort of long-lasting relationships, or where do these relationships come from?
Well, we have the ability to move our business where we see fit. So you're making sure we're always using the best coach builders, best screen providers, best power solutions companies. So we're constantly, it's a full-time job trying to make sure that everything that we put into these vehicles with no expense spared is the best we can possibly install. I started noticing curved corner sections being used in exhibitions, but then manufacturers started basically giving us the opportunity to use it in the outdoor space. Obviously, outdoor LED screens being more hard-wearing, IP65 front and back, things like that. So taking that evolution from the exhibition market and evolving the Edge at the same time, I suppose the real trick was to find out whether we could power the screen electrically as well. There's no point having an electric drivetrain, an EV vehicle, and then putting a diesel generator in the back to power the screens. And only really now we've been able to make the most of all the opportunities available to us to create this, which will undoubtedly be our flagship product. We had to, at some stage, turn the corner and start looking at what electric opportunities are available for us, but also, can we make it a viable product for us logistically? We waited for the manufacturers in both the LED, the power solution space, and the vehicle manufacturers to come up with their best products, and then we're just putting all three components together in what is arguably the most aesthetically pleasing vehicle we've ever made.
My name is Richard Hall. The vehicles we're building for mobile media are based on a Renault Master 4.2-tonne EV chassis cab. With this in mind, the first things we have to consider is the payload of the vehicle, the dimensions of the vehicle, and our route to whole vehicle type approval. To do this, we have to follow the requirements from Renault trucks. The vehicles in question for mobile media are a little bit different than standard bodywork. We need to build them light, so we have the available payload, and to be able to fit the LED screens, we've also got Fischer Panda, who are supplying the power system to power these screens. And then what we'll probably do is put a couple of braces across down the length of it. And the solar panels are really light because they're adhesive.
So they just stick on.
There's no weight on the roof like a big...
And we can drill through, pull the cables down.
Pull the cables down, come through the front of the head, seal it round. We'll run all the cables, and then it's ready for the boys to do the final...
Put the screen in.
Final installs, So the vehicles we produce here at Horton Commercials are built under our GB whole vehicle type approval certification, that we could build this conversion on our own approval. So now we know, once the vehicle's built, once we've got whole vehicle type approval and the vehicle is registered with the DVLA, that we know this vehicle is fully compliant and safe for the road.
The Curve for us will be our flagship product. Not only are we going to put the latest technology in it, design it aesthetically to look as amazing as possible, but we will want this thing to have all available credentials. Like, we just want to throw the full toolkit at this vehicle and showcase everything that we've done over the last 40 years in business and put it into the Curve.